allow us to introduce this small, kind of chaotic California vlog. We had a really good time. We went on a lot of hiking. We had good food. She's in a post-breakfast coma.
So as I mentioned, this is going to be a bit of a clip show, just giving you some of the highlights from my recent trip to California over the holiday break. We were in Northern California, so we weren't close to the fires, thankfully, but even, these areas have been affected, and it actually affected some of the hiking that we do. For example, in the first clip that I show you, we're in I think like a state park on the other side of Waddell Beach off of Highway 1, and we weren't actually able to go up the trails because the trails were all closed from fires that were 2 years ago. Even the rangers can't get through on ATVs, so like people especially can't hike up there. But at least the beach was beautiful, and it was nice to kind of go see a little creek. This that you see in front of you is kind of the marsh and in the background you can see the areas that were actually affected by the fires. Here is Pescadero and the Pescadero Marsh, where we actually were able to go hiking. It was so beautiful. I absolutely want to go and go further here. The only thing to be careful of if you do visit this area is there is a lot of poison oak. And some more clam. She is digging. She is such a little terrier, and I love taking her to California because there's all the moles and the voles, and you can see she actually like bites out the dirt to make the hole bigger, which I think is so crazy. In Half Moon Bay, my favorite thing is always just the sunsets in the winter. There's something about them that are so purple and orange and beautiful. Here we're walking by Pillar Point, or I know it as Mavericks because we always go to like the Maverick side of the beach where they have a huge surfing competition. While I was here, I didn't actually go see it, but I think some guy, they think he surfed down a 108-foot wave or something crazy like that, which could theoretically like be record breaking, but I don't think they ever were able to confirm it. But it's super cool. It's such a beautiful area. The dogs are always there running off leash. Sometimes you'll see seals, and when there's low tide, you can go and like walk along the rocks in the water, and there's always people there like getting, I think, mussels. I'm not a fisherman person, so I don't know what they're out there getting, but they're coming in with buckets, and it's really cool just to see everyone enjoying themselves. On this day, we came out and we got to see the sunset. It was really beautiful, and I'm trying to be much more mindful in my life and to pay attention to moments that are really inspiring to me, and just getting to see nature in this way, getting to be present with my loved ones, really meant a lot to me. I'm trying to remember to be less of a hater, to quote a therapist, and I don't know, just being present and being thankful for being safe, being thankful for the nature that I have, for roofs over my head, for even being able to grow from certain struggles that we all have. I'm learning to not just be accepting. I think I am generally a positive person, or even if I'm not in the most positive mood, I'm able to have a humorous outlook on even hard things in my life. But sometimes I don't just sit with the reality that like I'm able to grow from these moments, and I don't kind of have that metacognition of, yes, something's happening, it's not the easiest, but at the end of the day, I will grow from this, I'm able to handle this, and I'm able to move forward from this. And hard things, hard times are temporary, but when you grow from those things, you will always have those lessons, and you will always learn. Okay, enough of that cheesiness and that earnestness. Well, I don't know if it's enough of that earnestness, but in general, I live in a city, and I think it's very healthy to take moments to put yourself in nature and to find the thing about nature that you like to take notice of. Maybe like me, you like looking at the color of the light. Oh, here I am pointing At the little land that you can see in the distance, that's actually the beach that I was just on where you saw the sunset. This is another day. We're walking around a different area of shoreline. So beautiful. But like I was saying, I like to pay attention to the color of the light, the color of the grass or the trees. How does it change season to season? But what is the thing for you? What do you pay attention to? Maybe you're like my dad, pictured here, and you notice faces. He's always seeing faces or figures, whether it be in buildings or in, trees or driftwood. When I traveled to Italy last year, every time I saw a silly face in something, or if there was any unique street art, I would always send him those photos because he wasn't able to go with us. He broke 5 ribs. It's a crazy story, but he wasn't able to be with us, so I wanted to kind of share the things with him I thought he would notice. And lastly, I wanted to show you guys the days I spent in San Francisco proper. This is a clip of some redwoods, but the most important thing for this channel is Green Apple Books, which is by Golden State Park. Got 2 books while I was there. We also went to the Museum of Crafts and Design in Dogpatch, and we saw this exhibit on rug life. Honestly, I thought this museum was not very well designed, had a really small collection, and there were some rugs that I thought were really cool, but in general, I thought there was more wall space than there should have been. I would have loved to see comparisons between traditionally done crafts and the way that some of these modern artists were subverting the craft of weaving rugs. I love the concept of the museum focusing on handicrafts, the areas in life where we create art that are most tactile. These are often really underappreciated areas of art, but I don't know, I thought they could have done a much better job curating. And of course, I would love to have a rug made by Ai Weiwei in my house, but I don't have it like that, so it's never gonna happen. But in general, conceptually really cool. I like the way that they talked about how rugs talk space and culture and history. All that stuff was really cool. The cardboard pieces in my mind that you'll see in a second are really funny because I thought it was supposed to be like prayer rugs and talking about maintaining your culture even when you're, displaced. But actually it was a woman talking about how she sees unhoused people who sometimes use rugs, and she thought it'd be cool to have like good designs on them, which is still cool, but my story was better. The last clips you see here, we went to Rintaro one of the days in the city. Oh my gosh, the food here was so good. It's sort of like Japanese tapas. Like, that's how I can describe this. It's all very small plates you're meant to share. The udon was fabulous. I had it with duck. It was so good. But my favorite thing that I had was this daikon in soup. I was obsessed. Obsessed. I seriously need to get the cookbook that they made.
So that was the vlog. I just wanted to touch a little bit more on the 2 books that I bought. I did buy more books in California, but these were the books I bought in 2025. So the first book I got was Diary of a Hunger Strike by Oleh Sentsov, translated from original Russian, but it is of a Ukrainian activist during and after his hunger strike in a Russian prison. First book. And then the second book I got was A New History of South and North, or Korea, A New History of South and North, by Victor D. Cha and Ramon Pacheco Pardo. And this actually does have a back blurb, which reads, despite vast differences today, North and South Korea share a unique history. Victor Cha and Ramon Pacheco Pardo draw on decades of experience to tell the story of 2 countries from the late 19th century through the Japanese occupation and Cold War division to today's surge in interest in Korean popular culture. Korea sheds light on a region caught between the world's largest powers and considers the potential for future unification. So yeah, that's been this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope to make like more dynamic videos in the future.